Hello and welcome. My name is Jocelyn and today we're going to do a bit of a haul video, sort of haul slash review. These are all things that I bought 2 months ago, 3 months ago, probably actually more realistically, right before I took a break from YouTube because I was dealing with trimester 1 morning sickness, fatigue, and just overall not feeling so hot. So I've got a lot of stuff that I bought right before all of that happened and I've used almost all of it pretty I don't want to say consistently because I didn't wear makeup for a good month, but got some skincare, got some makeup, and I just kind of thought I'd share it with you because I don't think I've talked about most of this on my channel yet. Where do we want to start? Let's start with, I think these two things. These two things I think are the things that I bought first out of all this stuff. There were two things from Il Makiage. I bought the foundation and I bought the concealer. I actually really like the foundation. It's not what I'm wearing today, but I have worn this quite a few times and I like this. They have quite the extensive shade range. They have quite the extensive shade matching system on their website. I really do enjoy this. This is definitely pretty full coverage, but it's not too matte. And I've been mixing it with another product that I'll show you in a minute that kind of helps with the glowiness a little bit more. But it's definitely full coverage. It's definitely leaning more matte. Definitely I wouldn't say dewy or anything like that, but it's not too cakey, it's not too matte. I wear the shade 035. This is the Woke Up, I think this is the Woke Up Like This, yeah, foundation. Flawless base foundation. So this is pretty good. This, on the other hand, this is the concealer, the FM Flawless Multi-Use Perfecting Concealer. I have this in the shade 2.5. Not a big fan of this. It's fine, but I definitely wouldn't repurchase this. I would consider repurchasing the foundation. The concealer's just, it looks like a tiny bit cakey under the eyes, and it's just not the flawless, super smooth, dewy, hydrating concealer that I usually like. It's also not super full coverage, or I wouldn't even say it's full coverage. It's more, I think, medium to light coverage. So it just doesn't have much of anything that I prefer, but it's not bad. So I'll keep it, I'll use it. It's just not my favorite. Oh, actually, let's talk about some of the skincare items that I purchased. So I purchased 2 items from the Inky list. The first is the Oat Cleansing Balm, helps remove makeup and cleanse sensitive skin. I've used this quite a bit because I think it's the only cleansing balm I have right now, and I like other ones more. I think that when I go to repurchase a cleansing balm, I'll repurchase the Good Molecules one. That one right now is my favorite one. I just don't love the way this works. It's almost more of a cleanser than it is a cleansing balm because you have to get it wet in your hands. Like the other cleansing balms I'm used to, you can just apply straight to the skin and rub it around, get all of the makeup broken down, wipe it off, and then go in with a cleanser on top. This almost feels like it wants to be both a cleanser and a cleansing balm. So right now I use it to just remove makeup. I do have to get it wet and it works pretty good actually for the skin and the eyes. I use it in both places, but it's just not my favorite. I don't really love the way that it works, and I always have to go in with another cleanser on top of it. So it's fine, I'll use it up. Definitely won't repurchase. The other thing I bought from them though, I think this was definitely Hiram recommended. If you're not familiar with who Hiram is, skincare enthusiast here on YouTube, and I think he's got a bigger title than that, but very popular skincare person on YouTube. This is the Salicylic Acid Cleanser, helps reduce blackheads and breakouts. This I like. I definitely enjoy this. This is definitely a cleanser. It's just a clear cleanser that I use with my Foreo. And yeah, I have the Dermalogica cleanser right now that I'm using up. I use every night to take off the rest of my makeup and just really cleanse the skin. And I think when I run out of that, I'll replace it with this. I have been using this in my shower more often. So if I'm doing like a full body shower, so I clean my hair and get my face wet, then usually I'll use this at that time. That was a long way of saying that, unnecessary information, but I like this. I think it's also very inexpensive. Hard to get though, is from what I understand. I think I was just lucky when I purchased it, but maybe the craze has subdued and it's more available, but I like this. I enjoyed this. I will probably continue to repurchase this. And the last 2 skincare items I picked up, again from the same brand, not that brand that I just talked about, but the same brand. Crave Beauty, another brand recommended by Hiram. I'll talk about this one first. This is the Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser. I usually like to have a more gentle cleanser and then a more heavy duty cleanser. The one I just talked about, I would classify as a more heavy duty cleanser with a lot more stripping, seems like an aggressive word, but deeper ingredients that really get in there for nighttime use, so I can really get into my pores and clean out all the makeup and grime from the day. And then I like to use something a little more gentle in the morning, and this has been the thing that I've been sometimes using in the morning. This is fine. I don't have a lot of experience with this yet because I was using up a couple other things. I don't have too much of a review on this yet. This is definitely an interesting, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it's got like a green kind of texture, which is in line with the whole matcha thing. So far, I've enjoyed this. Don't have a ton of experience with it yet, but I did buy it. It's in my bathroom. The next thing though, I have used quite a bit. This is the very coveted, very highly raved about, the Great Barrier Relief. This is supposed to help repair the skin barrier. I use a lot of harsh chemical, not harsh, some might say harsh. I use a lot of stuff on my face because I am pretty acne prone. And so I heard this talked about by Hiram, and he also has struggled with a lot of acne. So this is just supposed to help rebuild the hydration, the moisture barrier on your skin. A ceramide-rich skin-soothing serum that offers a reset button to your damaged skin barrier. Great Barrier Relief contains tamanu oil and ingredients that mimic a healthy skin barrier to replenish what your skin lacks. I was using this twice a day. I started using this just in the morning because I try not to use too much on my skin at once. So I've been using just an acne treatment at night, and then I've been using this in the morning after I cleanse. I like this, I think. I haven't noticed anything bad. I don't know if I've noticed anything great, but I did kind of stop using it for a little while. So now that I'm using it again, I'll definitely keep my eye out for results. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about this next. So I purchased from 2 new brands in the last few months. This a long time ago, and it's from the new brand Auric, Samantha Ravindall's brand. Very excited. I was just so excited when this launched, and I was like, I needed to get my hands on everything. And so I picked up one of the Glow Lust. This is in the shade Morganite. I think this is the lightest shade they offer, and I've used this a ton. So I've mixed it in with foundations. I've tapped it on my cheeks as a highlight or like a base to a highlight. I've used this a lot more than I thought I was going to, and I really enjoy this. It is a little dark for me. When I mix it in with my foundations, I can tell that it tints the foundation up a notch darker, which isn't great because I am super pale. So I think this will be really good for me in the summer. I do, again, have to be careful. I mean, I don't leave my house that much because I work from home, so it's not too big of an issue, but I do notice that this does bump up my foundation a little bit in shade, and I think that when I'm out more in the sun and getting a little bit more tan, this will be a lot better. But I really enjoy this. This definitely glows up a foundation, and it offers a really pretty glow to the cheeks if you dab it on your cheeks. It's just gorgeous packaging, and the pump is freaking fantastic. I know she raved about the pump in her launch video where you can really control how much you get onto your skin. I fully agree with that. I really like this. I also picked up 2 of her Smoke Reflex, I think is what they're called. Yeah, Smoke Reflex. So I picked up 2 of them. I picked them up in the shades Temper and Defiance. So the gold one and the rose gold one. I am not using these as much as I thought I was going to be absolutely honest. I definitely have used them. The shades Temper more than Defiance. I think Temper is the rose gold one, and then Defiance is the more bronzy gold one. I think that I think one of the reasons for that is I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup, especially eyeshadow. When I was using my makeup, I was trying to use my Project Pan items and getting some use out of especially my Pan That palette. So I wasn't reaching for these as much, but the couple times I've used them, I have enjoyed them. I was kind of disappointed in the shimmery shade, which is surprising to me. I don't know if I just did something weird with it and hit hard pan, but like there's just like not a lot. I don't know what I did. Like I tried to scrape off some of the hard pan, and it's just like I don't know, man. I don't know what I did, or if maybe I just am not using it right. This is the other shade. It's definitely, you can definitely see more here. I don't know what I did to temper. I might have messed it up. Maybe I need to get some tape in there and like take off the hard pan. Just as a close up, here is the shade Temper, the top of it. And then let me open Defiance. And here is Defiance. So you can kind of see that there's sort of like a hard pan there. I did try and like dig a little bit out with my fingernail to see if that would help, but I don't know what I did. I definitely haven't used these as much as I thought I was going to. I thought these I was going to use a lot more than the Glow Lust, but so far that's not the case. I'm going to definitely make a point to use these more. Okay. Okay. Some of you are going to be very disappointed that I made this purchase and this much of this purchase. You know what? I'm not even mad about it. I fully support and understand anybody who's like, why did you give that person money? I understand. I get it, you know? I get it. But I bought some stuff from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I bought a lot of stuff, actually. I bought 4 things. Let's talk about the biggest thing first, which is the blush and bronzer palette. First of all, don't love the packaging. It's huge. It's just so chunky. There's a lot of space in here that I don't think is fully necessary. There's also like a lot of room down here that I don't know if the pans, maybe the pans go that far. I don't know. Don't love the packaging, at least on the blush and bronzer. I bought this in the lightest shade possible, which was Lilac Love and Top Tan. I am wearing the bronzer today. It's definitely very light. I don't hate it. I don't hate the blush either. I actually really like the formula. I don't know why they're doing this weird thing. You can kind of see, maybe it's the way that I'm using my brush in them and really just kind of getting in there. I don't hate the formula. I don't love the packaging. I kind of enjoy the formula. I think it's really soft, easy to use. It is pretty messy in around the pan because I'm getting in there with my brush, and these are kind of lighter shades, so I feel like I need to use kind of a lot. I mean, that was my fault for getting the lightest shade that she offers. This is probably, though, my least favorite product out of the 4 things. I definitely still enjoy it, and I'm gonna use it. But again, out of the 4 things, it probably ranks 4th. Next, if I had to do a ranking, this would be my 3rd. And then the first 2 are kind of tied for 1st. But I bought 2 of her, what are these, just the highlights? Yeah, 2 of her highlighters. So I bought a large one in Sparks and then a small one in Iced. I wish that I was able to buy them like reversed. So the bigger one of Iced and then the smaller one of Sparks, because I like Iced more than I like Sparks, but they didn't offer Sparks in the smaller packaging. Sparks is the more yellow toned highlight. I do like these highlights. I don't know that they're crazy unique, but I like the formula. I also don't mind the packaging as much. God, there's a lot of reflections going on in my living room right now. I don't mind the packaging on these as much. I don't feel like there's as much wasted space. I like how much product you get. I do really like the 2 shades. I feel like it's really hard for me to find a yellow gold kind of shade that's light enough for my skin tone. And this is light enough. And I think will even look good when I have a little bit more of a tan. So this is good. I just prefer the shade of the other one a little bit more, but I do like this. And maybe during the summer when I'm wearing a lot more orangey, warm tone shades, I'll get more use out of that one. But Iced is the little baby mini one I have. And this one is more of like a pink champagne, a light pink champagne. This one, oh, this one's so pretty. This one I really, really like. I've used this one a ton. I think it's so pretty. Again, I don't think that these are anything totally groundbreaking, but they're soft and they're pretty and they're good shade matches to my skin. So I like them, okay? I don't know what to tell you. And then the last thing that I bought is, what is this? The loose highlighter. So this is her, like, wabam in your face loose highlighter. I bought it in the shade Extra, which I think is the lightest shade she has. It's got like a sifter top. This I bought because she mentioned using it in the inner corner, and I am a sucker for an inner corner highlight. That's when I've used this one the most. Occasionally I've dabbed it on the high points of my cheeks because it is quite the highlight. I really like this. I really like this, okay? I don't really regret. I don't want to say that I regret purchasing this one. I'm pretty turned off by the packaging, and it is a little light for me, so I think that if I have any kind of tan on my face, I probably won't be able to use these shades, but it's good for the winter. I think this is a pretty good palette for the winter, and a lot of stuff, at least especially palettes like this, duos, are too dark for me, so you know, I didn't really lose too much. And the last 3 things that I wanted to mention real fast, I got in the mail recently from Heather. She was decluttering them, and I thought I'd talk about them real fast because they're new to my collection and they're actual makeup products. The first I'm actually wearing today. This is the Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. This is in the shade 20WY. I was really worried this was going to be too yellow for me, but I really don't think it is. I think it's actually a pretty good shade match. I don't think... Yeah, I didn't mix the Glow Lust with this. I wanted to just see, this is the first time I'm wearing it. I wanted to see how it looked. It's probably not my favorite foundation, but I enjoy it. I definitely think it's good. I'm interested to see what it's like in the hotter months when I'm more sweaty in my face, to see how it wears then. Weightless liquid foundation. So yeah, so far I've had it on all day and it looks pretty good. So I'm happy. Thank you, Heather, for giving this to me. So far, so good. And then the other 2 things, the whole reason she reached out to me in the first place is she was decluttering 2 of her Glossier cloud paints, and I talked about how much I wanted to get my hands on some of them because I'd used samples and liked them so much, and she was decluttering these and she offered them to me. So I have it in the shade Dusk and the shade Beam. I've been using Beam, well, I've used Beam like 3 times now, and I really like these. Blushes just wear off on me constantly, and this has been on my face all day and I still can see the blush. I want more of these. I don't love the packaging of the Glossier cloud paints, but you know what? I love the product on the inside. It's so easy to use. They're so pretty and they have so many shades that I want. Again, thank you, Heather. I'm in love. All right, so those are all of the things that I bought a couple months ago or have gotten within the last few months and have been using, and my thoughts on them. I'm planning on placing a Sephora order with the VIB sale that's coming up in just a few days, so I will be doing another haul shortly. Most of this though I bought 3 months ago, so it's just been sitting, hanging out, and getting some use, and I thought I'd mention it because I hadn't mentioned most of them on my channel yet. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't want to miss future content from me, consider subscribing. All of those buttons are right down below, and I think that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.